Hi, welcome to Cowtown Colorworks. I'm Lori, otherwise known as My Cat Pearl on Instagram and Ravelry, and that's MyCatPurl. I'm coming to you from my craft space work studio in right outside of Columbus, Ohio, where I live with my mom and my cat Wellington. Apparently I am the crazy cat lady. My coworker got me this mug. It says I decorate with cats, and on the back, crazy cat lady. It is very appropriate and it's super cute. Today I have hazelnut coffee. I've been busy this weekend, making and doing all kinds of things. This is, episode 30. Today is August the 28th. It's a Sunday. It's in the morning. Just finished some baking. I've decided that I'm doing, besides knitting projects for my friends and family for Christmas, I'm going to start doing some other things, which I'll get into later. But today we're going to talk about life in Ohio. I have a finished object, but I'm not really sure where it is right now. So no finished objects today. 3 works in progress, some stash enhancements, and then some other general craftiness that's been going on in my house. So what is going on in Ohio? Well, I think I've mentioned before, my mom is battling cancer right now, so I'm home a lot to care for her. So I figured I need to be a productive member of society when I'm at home. And so I decided, a while back that I wanted to do some knitting projects for some of my nearest, it's very warm in here, nearest and dearest. So I've started those projects, and then I was thinking what other things I could do for my neighbors, coworkers, just have gifts, because I like to give at the holidays. But I mean, let's be honest, we live in a time of excess. We all have just a lot of stuff. And so I'm trying to think of things that I could gift friends and family and neighbors that doesn't involve hoarding or filling up their house with all kinds of stuff. So what I've decided, since it's the season, is canning. So I've been canning like a mad woman. Because right now in Ohio anyway, peppers are in season, fresh produce, strawberries, peaches, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. I mean, this is all in season right now. So I started canning, and I started with tomato jam. Now I know it sounds bizarre, and these are half pints, Little House on the Prairie, 4-ounce jars. And I just think they're perfect for any type of jam or jelly. This is tomato jam. It's a recipe I found on Pinterest, but what it is tomatoes, onions, cumin, coriander. I put red pepper flake because I wanted mine a little heat to it. It's not overly hot, but there's a warmth to it when you're eating it. Onions. I said onions. Oh, brown sugar, white sugar, balsamic vinegar, and apple cider vinegar. And you really have to cook it down for about 3 hours to get the pectin out and make the jam. Now, it's really like a souped up ketchup. I mean, I had it on some goat cheese the other night, which was delicious. But I really think it would be great on a hamburger or on brats or on some type of, pork, or even marinate your chicken. I don't know, but it's delicious. So I made some of that. I only made 4 half pints. I'm doing small batch, mainly because it's just easier in my kitchen, and that was the recipe. And then I made strawberry jam. Isn't that the cutest jar like ever? And this is low sugar strawberry jam. So I bought Ball brand pectin for low or no sugar. So this is 4 cups of smashed up strawberries, a whole lemon zested and then juiced, 1.5 cups of sugar, and the pectin. And it's set up perfectly fine. You have to use the no sugar, low sugar pectin if you're going to alter the amount of sugar in your canned goods. Some of the recipes I saw was 4 cups of sugar. No, I'm sorry, 4 cups of strawberries, 7 cups of sugar. Absolutely not am I making something with 7 cups of sugar. It's just not going to happen. So this recipe netted me 3.5 of these. Oh, and I put a half cup of water. I made it with the same amount of strawberries yesterday, and I got 5. So, and I was just using it was about 4 cups. But it's delicious. It's very tart and sweet, but it tastes like strawberries. And then I made peach jam. Peaches are in season. These are Georgia peaches that I bought. And with this one, I couldn't find any more of the Ball brand, so I got Sure Gel, and I went with their recipe. So this does have 3 or 4, I don't know, cups of sugar in it. Also the zest and juice of 1 whole lemon, and then the smashed fruit. And I got 6 out of 4 pounds of peaches, 6 jars, plus I have some in my refrigerator for us to eat. So I just thought these would be beautiful gifts. Tie them with some raffia, maybe get a wooden jam spoon or something. And then my boss brought in from her garden some Hungarian wax hot peppers. And then she only brought a few, so I stopped at the farm stand by my house and picked up some more. And I have 6 jars, and that's a garlic clove in here. And this is just a simple, equal parts vinegar water, although I add a little more vinegar, some sugar, and pickling salt, just to give a little sweet heat. But these look delicious. Now these won't be ready for 2 to 3 weeks, so they have to kind of pickle in the brine. But they're, I mean, these are all shelf stable, canned, you know, I canned them. You don't even have to leave the rings on, but I'm gifting them, so I will. So that's what I've been doing in Ohio. I've just been enjoying the summer and the fruits of the season, and really, my grocery store has blackberries on sale that come from a local farm, and I'm probably going to make some blackberry jam. Because I could give people 2 jars, it doesn't matter. Or keep it good for, I think, 18 to 24 months. So I would be able to eat that much jelly. Because, so yesterday was canning day, and today I baked English muffin bread this morning. So easy, so easy. Quick acting yeast. Only takes 1 rise. I mean, I was start to finish an hour, and I made 2 loaves. I'm going to take it to work tomorrow because my goal is to give everybody a jar of some type of a jam, apple butter, whatever, and a loaf of bread as a little gift, like a little Christmas offering. And I'm sure I'll have other things too, but that's where I'm at right now. What else is going on in Ohio? We had a nice week of fall-like weather. I mean, not really fall, but starting to be like fall. So, like, it was cool in the morning, 80 in the afternoon. Perfect. I could live like that forever. And now it's gone. Now it's back to 90s. So, it was super hot this weekend. I was going to clean my garage. I just, you know, what happens. Everything kind of ends up in your garage. So I was going to clean that and organize this weekend and redo my dyeing materials and kind of shift things about and make room for my canning stuff. But that's going to have to wait because it's just too hot out there. So I've just been kind of enjoying the season. Next weekend is football season. Go Bucks. Or I should say next weekend the Buckeyes start their season. Super excited about that. I love football season. Alright, well, let's get into it because I have done a lot of crafting. If not a lot of knitting, I've done a lot of crafting. Let me get my notes out of the way. We'll start with, sorry about my chair, I gotta oil it. So these mittens, we look like we're probably less than I was last time. That's because we are. I had to rip out this mitt. This is the second time I've had to rip this back. The first time, I don't remember what I did. But I had to rip it back. Something bad happened. I don't remember. The second time, this last time, I'm knitting along. Oh, I know what happened. So the last time, I was knitting, and, you know, life is a little stressful. My mom has an illness. It's a, you know, terminal illness. So things are stressful. I picked up my needles, and I start knitting the wrong direction. I don't know. So I had like 6 rows of pearls. And I'm like, no, not going to happen. So I ripped it back, started over, finished all of my ribbing, and was doing my increases, and I read the pattern incorrectly. It's a double increase. So you're making, this is a right mitten, so you're making one left, making one right. It's a free pattern, so I can tell you that. And then in between your stitch markers, and that's what grows out your gusset for your thumb. I was only doing one. I mean, I could have stopped, I could have tinked back, but again, there was more of an issue with the increase than the time it takes to knit up the cuff. So I ripped it back. I'm almost done with this limey green color. And then I will read the pattern a little more carefully. But these are on the back burner for right now anyway. It's 90 degrees outside. I don't have to worry too much about mittens. But I'd like to have them for winter. They will match my winter coat, which is navy blue. And next project that I'm working on is my amulet shawl by Helen Stewart, part of the Shawl Society. I'm so close. I really have, I'm in the middle of a row, but 1, 2, 3, 12 rows left in the cast off, but these rows are so long. I can't really show you where I'm at because, like I said, I stopped mid-row last night. I'm not really sure why, but something, okay. Oh God, oh gosh, okay. Let's not panic. I have dropped a bunch of stitches. So while we're talking, I'm going to pick up, did I drop a bunch? I don't know how many I dropped. Yes, here's definitely one. Thank goodness I had this sitting right here, which is my stitch picker-upper. Oh yeah, here's one. I think I just dropped a few. This is the amulet shawl, like I said, by Helen Stewart. This one doesn't want to catch. Sorry. There we go. Let me get through here. I just need to get this up to the next row and put it back on its needle where it belongs. And then life will be in a better place for us all, correct? Correct. Quite frankly, I feel like I've already messed up this lace somehow. And again, this is all going back to my life is a mess right now. I think I got them all. Did I get them all? I don't think I did. Anyway, I'll look at it later and I think I'm good. I was in the middle. I just did a knit or a purl. Yarn over? I shouldn't be yarning over. Let me get this, let me tank back a second. So I think I just kind of messed this thing up, but we'll see. I'll figure out where I'm at. This is the amulet shawl by Helen Stewart. And it's beautiful, and this color again is more green than it's showing up, but it is beautiful. And then there's a, you know, there's the eyelet section, the rib section, and then this lace section, which is super pretty. Yeah, there we go. I gotta go in the right direction. So I have like 12 more rows, but they're just so long, and so it'll be done by Christmas for sure. Actually, hopefully it'll be done by, my goal was this weekend, but I'm going to fail at that because I've got too much housework to do. And then this, as a new project I cast on, I'm going to see my aunt in Washington, who coincidentally was just diagnosed also with cancer. And I wanted to bring her something. Hi, Wellington. My kitty is over here sniffing yarn. I wanted to make her a hat. She will be going through some chemotherapy, and she's older. I mean, this is going to be hard on her, and we want my cousin and I are going to go visit her next month, so I wanted a hat for her. So I cast on the Pikachu Peak. I think it's Pikachu Peak, anywho. And it is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's so pretty and delicate, and this is really what I wanted to be able to bring, and it's not really necessarily for warmth, but more so for her to wear when, when she loses her hair. This is some old stash. This is probably the first yarn I bought that wasn't, I don't think it's indie dye, but it wasn't like acrylic from Joannes. So this is the first like real yarn, if you will. I mean, I still buy yarn at Joannes, but this was the first non-acrylic. And this is, and actually Heidi gave this to me, and Sarah, and I snagged Sarah's. But this is Canopy, Fruits of the Forest Fiber Company. 50% alpaca, 30% merino, 20% bamboo. And it's like a, the colorway is called, there was a name, Plum. And this is 50 grams, 200 yards, and I have 2 skeins of it. So I may not even need to break into this one. We'll see. I made the but it's super soft and squishy. And this is where I'm at. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So it's supposed to be 2.5 inches of twisted rib, which I did not make 2.5. I don't think I could ever do 2.5 inches of a rib, but I could. I mean, I can, but I don't. And then what I've done is I've placed stitch markers in between each pattern, so I'll know right away if I'm off somewhere, because it is a lazy pattern and my brain has really not been with it. But it's just a simple pattern. It is 2 together or slip-slip knit, depending on which side we're on, and yarn overs, and that's really it. And it's so pretty and delicate. You can't really see the pattern yet, but it's there. Here's it's the V's. It'll be V's all the way out. So pretty. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is the alpaca, if she's sensitive to that. But I do plan on trimming it up a little bit, and when I soak it, hopefully it'll soften up some of the alpaca fiber. But it's so pretty. It's such a pretty color, and it's just a delicate little, hat to feel pretty wearing if you're not feeling pretty that day. So that's in the works. I mean, obviously I'm just starting this, so I've got a ways to go. I'm trying this weekend to focus on the shawl, just so I can get that finished. I mean, that is part of my holiday knitting, but I have another pattern I want to cast on for another friend, and I have the yarn for that. So super easy. Oh, and here's the chart. This is a charted pattern. It's not written, but if you can see just how simple it is, you have your slip knit or your knit 2 together, and these are yarn overs, and that's really it. I'm getting ready to start the next V. You repeat this up to, it's up to like 50 rows, and you do 50 rows 8 times, and then you start the decreasing. When I do charting, I really need my chart holder, and I love this one. I got it at Knit Picks. Sarah got a Knitter's Pride one, very similar. I just happened to get mine at Knit Picks. Okay, so what do I have for some new stash? Ooh, I might have bought just a few things. Okay, first off, I love Felucci. That's what I'm making the mittens out of. I like the yarn. I like that it's super round. I like that it's soft, it's squishy, and Knit Picks happens to sell it undyed. So this is Bare Felucci. So I bought 3 skeins of this to dye up. I think I'll do 1 Christmas and 2 of the same. I've been doing a lot of 2 of the sames because I like a larger shawl. I'm not a small girl, and I like a larger. So, or I might buy more and dye it all up for a sweater or cardigan. That might happen. We'll see. So right now I've got 3 skeins, and they're 436 yards each. So almost 1,300. I would need a few more to make a sweater my size. So that was one purchase. So clearly I got some yarn from Knit Picks, because I was getting some gift yarn. I fell in love with this. This is called, this is Stroll Fingering Raven Tonal. OMG. I hope, oh yeah, that's good. There's some green in there, and some purples, and blues, and plum, and a cat fur, or is that my fur? I'm not really sure. That's me. Oh my gosh. That's nitpicks. And these are super soft and squishy. I'm wondering if this is the same. Could be the same base. This could be the Felucci base. Because it looks very similar. Let's see. No. This is 100 grams, 462 yards. You know, it's a very economical yarn, especially if you are giving it to somebody you don't know if they're going to be able to handle, like, non-superwash, or if it gets accidentally ruined, you don't feel bad, or maybe you're giving it to a non-knit-worthy person, which I wouldn't do that. But, you know, for $10, and I know it's commercially dyed, but for me, and I like it, and I like the color, why not? And this will look so pretty with something, I don't know, I love the colors. So, Felucci Stroll Fingering. I will tell you, this one apparently is a popular colorway, because I had to push the little button that says email me when it's back, and they emailed me, and I went in to buy it, and it was already low stock again. And then I got some brown, and this is Hawthorne Fingering. So this is a fingering weight. It's 100 grams. It's only 357, so it's clearly thicker, you know, than the other. But this is brown, and I just got this as an accent color. I have some yarns that I want to make up, and I needed some neutral, just a neutral tonal. I also bought some brown dye, chestnut, so that I want to make some fall colors. Now, I don't think those two would go together, but this will go great with another yarn that I have that's pumpkin-y colors. And then when I was at Walmart getting my canning stuff, I don't know if you can, oh, you can, I think. No, well, it's reflective yarn. For my friend Jen, she's a runner, and I don't know, you can't really see it. No, it's neon orange, so that's coming out good. And then there's some strips. It's acrylic. It was on clearance for $3.50, but there's some strips in here of reflective material. Let me see if I can. Okay, maybe. There you go. You see the gray? That's reflective. So at night, when it's dark and she's out running, or early in the morning, I'm going to make her a hat out of this. She can launder it, it can stink it up, she can do whatever, but she has reflective material in here. So if a car comes up behind her, it'll reflect on the hat and they'll be able to see her. And I want my Jen to be safe. And this is one skein of bulky neon orange. I don't know how many yards are in here. And if you see the hat picture, this is what it would look like. This is what the yarn looks like knit up, and that's what it looks like when there's light shining. It's reflective. So her head would like glow. I don't know how many yards are in here. I'm assuming it's enough to make at least one hat. 88 yards. So I can make a little beanie, hopefully. If not, I can do a rim of one color and then do the rest. And then I was at Tuesday morning. Actually, I was looking for needles. They didn't have any in stock. And they do, on occasion, get like Chow Goos or Deborah Norval's, whatever. But they did have super cute yarn. This is so fun. And it's called Louisa Harding Yarns Cassia Prints. Super soft, super wash wool. These are, it's light, so I'm thinking this is like a fingering weight. It's a 50-gram ball, 145 yards. So it's a little, could even be considered probably a DK. And I got 2 balls of it because it's super soft, it's squishy, and the colors are super pretty. So I got those. I don't know what I'll make out of them. Some project, who knows. what else did I get? Oh, and then I was at, where was I? Joanne, like you do, because for those of you who don't know, Joanne is a crafting fabric store here in the U.S. Pretty much everywhere. It's like Walmart of the craft world, I suppose. We have Michael's. Where I live, we have Michael's, Joanne's, and Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobbies aren't open on Sunday, so that makes it a little difficult for me. Cause I think I mentioned before, that's the day that I do a lot of my crafting, or a lot of my. It's like a day I kind of reserve for myself. I'm separating these out of this bowl here. What did I go to Joanne for? The needles for the hat. I needed a size 4, US 4, 16s. You do the rim or the brim on a US size 3, 16 around, which I had. I didn't have a 4, so I did the rim and then I stopped on my way home from work the other night. There's one right on my way. And I walked in and I was getting the needles, which I did, and then I saw on clearance spatulas, that butters and cream. These are the heavy, nice, super nice spatulas, and they were on 75% off. So I got them for 99 cents. I went back and got more for Christmas gifts for my nieces, because that's something that every household can use. And those two are young, they're in their 20s, and they both like to cook, and Sarah's starting to bake, so I wanted her to have a nice spatula. But then I saw on the rack, and of course I had a coupon, because Joanne's is all about their coupons. And they had their Halloween stuff out. I believe these are for like charm bracelets, probably, or necklaces, but I made stitch markers out of them because everything is a stitch marker. Please tell me that you can see this little witch's cauldron. It is a witch's cauldron. I am not going to lie to you. These are 2 different sets I bought. This is the first set. And I added 1 ring, so they had to come with one. The little witch's hat. Can you see that? And these are 3D ones. So they're they almost look like pieces from Monopoly. And then I made a progress keeper out of this broom. Oops, that's backwards. And they are 3D, but this one definitely has a front and a back. So it's the broom. And then, oh, this one came with it as well, and I made a progress keeper out of this one. Oh, there we go. It's a witch's boot. Oh my gosh, so cute. And that is made with purple and green stripe. And then these 2 were also in there, and I made stitch markers out of these. They are adorable. Good witch, bad witch is what they say. Let's see. Is the one that says Good Witch, and they're just a little medallion. Yeah, there you go. Better. There's 2 of those. So I made a set for fall, for Halloween, of course, because that's coming. And then I got a second set because I went to a different Joanne the next day to get spatulas for my nieces. I didn't think about it until I got home. So what I just showed you, all of those charms. Tell me this cauldron is not adorable. Oh my God, it's so cute. It's a little witch's cauldron. It's hollow. $3.99. I had a 50% off coupon. And then the next set, I'm not gonna lie, this is why I bought it. Because I need a black cat. I have a black cat and I needed a black cat. So it came with these, and these are more enameled. And then this one, which I made a progress keeper out of. I better do a lot of knitting this fall. And then this is a cobweb with a spider on it. And then, I love that, a little bat. And then an owl, which I haven't done anything with this yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It might end up on a, like a permanently stitched onto something, because this is super cute. It's just a little owl. And then this set also came with, and I have attached it to a bag that I have not completed yet, but I think you can see that. There you go. That was really big, so I just attached it to this purse, or this project bag, but it's a raven. This bag I just need drawstrings, and it's just unbleached. muslin on the inside, and orange. And I just thought this would be fun for Halloween. I'll put some a black drawstring in it. I'm not a huge Halloween fan. I enjoy the fall season and some of the more kitschy Halloween stuff, like these, you know, little witches socks and things, but I don't like the gory Halloween stuff. One other thing I bought, I really am starting to enjoy, and these are just, I mean, I got a whole bag of them for like $1. This is a heart shape. I'll show you on my forehead. And I had some from before. But these are really good stitch markers, like with the hat that I need one every so many stitches. These are good and pretty low-key, unintrusive. This is a little thicker, but it's still fine. I have some hearts and I have some circles, and they're just, I have a whole little container full of stitch markers that I was just messing with. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do with them yet, but those little, I'm not even sure what you would do other than maybe link them side to side and do like a bracelet or something, or hang them off a necklace or an earring. I'm not sure what they're for. They're not broken, so you can't clip these to something, but you could clip things to this. But they're perfect, and this is, you know, these are good for sock size, maybe up to a 3 or a 4 I'm using, so maybe a 5 even, but they're smaller. They have larger ones as well. So I was crafting on those and on my bag, and then the last, I don't know where you came from. The last crafting that I did, and this was last weekend, I think I showed you on the last podcast that I bought some felt. This is, you know, just felt from Joanne. And if you're on my Instagram, I did put a small video vlog out of this. But this is, if you can hear, is my double point holder. And I'll untie it and show you how I made it. It was so easy. Obviously, these are my bicycle ribbon, and this was a button that a family member of mine sent me when I had asked for if anybody had any resources for some vintage buttons, and I loved it. So I used that to hold the ribbon down. I did a little detail stitch at the top. My sewing machine does. It's like a little flowered stitch, and it actually is functional as well as cute. And then if you hold this thing open, it's like a book. I'm going to open it. I'll show you standing it up. It's holding all my double points, except for the ones that are in work, and then the ones that don't belong to me. And I even got my small little collection of crochet hooks. And literally, it is what it looks like. It's just little pockets. And then the top, I stitched it down like that to hold the needles in, to give it a little more stability at the top. So when I open it up, it stays in. And then I literally just fold it in like a book. The crochet needles may not live in here for long because they're noisy. And then I can tie it this way. Just one time. What I have been doing is double wrapping it just so I can get a better secured hold. I don't want my needles falling out anywhere. And then these can be stored. They're going to go in my cabinet behind me. Super easy, no hemming involved, no, I mean, it's literally just cut and stitch. It took me less than an hour to make this. If I had to do it again, a couple things would be different. I would either line the pockets with some fabric, or make the whole thing out of fabric and make it revert, like in case all the, you know, make it a pocket and then you turn it inside out and encase that way, and then fold them up. Because of the nature of felt, the needles sometimes will poke through the backside. Totally just annoying. It's not really damaging anything. It's just annoying. But And I love the color and the softness and the vintage kind of feel of dealing with felt. So I don't know. If I make another one for a gift maybe for somebody, I would use fabric. I wouldn't use necessarily the felt for that. But I got that done. I haven't worked on the project bags yet that I have. One little project, and I don't think I can show you per se. I moved a bookcase down here, and I stacked up all my yarn on it. And I'll take a small video of that and maybe see if I can insert it in the end. And some pictures of my bread that's out of the oven and up on the stove right now. I think, oh, I have one more purchase. Oh, I almost missed. So I bought this book, the Big Book of Knitting. I ordered it on Amazon. It was literally a penny. I do listen to the Knitmore Girls, and she has referred to this book on numerous occasions, and I felt like it was a really good technique book and knowledgeable book to have. It's not necessarily patterns, but it's more finishing techniques, casting on, decreasing, binding off, the Kitchener, shawl collars, invisible seams. You know, it's just techniques that will be fabulous to have when finishing projects, or, you know, come across something you're not really sure about. It was a penny and then shipping, so I paid $4 for the book, and it's a pretty substantial book. It's 235 pages. There's stitches in the back, bobbles, crochet and knitted. I mean, there's all kinds of things in here. Then there's some patterning, but mostly it's techniques. So it's a good reference guide and a reference material, and it's by Katharina Booth, and I don't even know when it was put out, but I feel like it's timeless stuff. But this book was published in 1999, but that's okay. So I purchased the Big Book of Knitting. I have not cracked it open yet to see, you know, what all is in here, but it did sell back then for $19.99. I got it for $4 because I had to pay shipping. It's an old library book, which is kind of cool too. I don't know what library it belonged to. Nope, this says thrift books, so I don't think it was necessarily a library book. I'm not working, but so that was my book purchase this week. Did I get any other books? I don't think so. So I'm gonna look at this. If I decide to do my sweater, I'm going to need this. So that is it for this weekend, I believe. Yes, that's everything. So you have yourself a great week, 2 weeks. I'm not sure when I'll be back. And happy knitting. Bye. Here is my bookshelf that I brought down. It's an old lunchbox and my yarn scraps that I have up there. Fingering weight and sock weight yarns. This is just hodgepodge. That basket there on the second shelf down is all kinds of yarn that needs to be re-skeined up and soaked. It's been caked too long. And then some extra. There's some cotton over there. And then this one is DK and worsted weight. Just a hodgepodge. Some acrylics and stuff for different projects. Down here is my undyed yarn and some finished objects that need to be washed and blocked before fall. And then on the bottom there's my project bags that I have not sold yet. They're going to have to be relisted on Etsy, and some fiber because I am trying to learn to drop spindle. So this is my stash for now. That basket at the top, number 73, it's an old gym locker basket. Love it. And that's full of paired sock yarn. So that's enough. All the yarn up there is enough sock yarn for heels, toes, cuffs, or sets, pairs of socks, or mittens. So that's my stash in my sewing space, in my crafting area. Once I get the basement completely clean, I'll take you on a complete tour. Alrighty, I'm going to see if I can flip this in the end.